Okay, so get this. This clip of Justin Bieber and Diddy from back in 2011 is blowing up online again.
Yeah.
And knowing what we know now about Diddy's legal situation.
Oh, I know, right? It really makes you see things differently.
It's like one of those things where, you watch an old comedy special,
Uh-huh.
and then you find out the comedian was going through like a horrible divorce at the time.
Right, and suddenly those jokes about their in-laws are
It hits different.
totally different. Yeah.
And this is bigger than just, hindsight is 2020.
Oh, absolutely.
This Resurfaced clip is from Jimmy Kimmel.
Right.
It has people talking about like power dynamics in the music industry in a whole new way.
Yeah, and to really understand this, we have to rewind to, 2009.
Okay.
There's this YouTube video, right? 15-year-old Bieber hanging out with Diddy for 48 hours.
I remember that.
Billed as this dream come true, which I'm sure at the time it seemed like.
Right.
But now, knowing what we know about Diddy and just the power imbalance in that situation,
Yeah, it's a lot.
it's a bit much.
Especially because Diddy's facing some serious charges. We're talking
Yeah.
sex trafficking, racketeering, even lawsuits alleging misconduct.
This isn't just like a PR thing. This
Oh,
is
no.
like the law catching up.
Exactly. This is serious stuff.
Yeah, and it makes you think, what was young Justin Bieber exposed to?
Right.
And the clip itself just adds another layer to all of this.
Because on the surface, it seems pretty tame.
Right.
Bieber's there, 16 at the time?
Yeah, babyface Bieber.
All smiles, sitting next to Diddy, and starts talking about a Lamborghini.
The Lamborghini Diddy got him, quote unquote.
Right, and that's when Diddy cuts him off. He's like, and I quote, "He knows better than to be talking about the things that he does with Big Brother Puff on national television.
Oh.
Everything ain't for everybody."
See, that's the line.
Right.
That's the one that gets me.
It's like, whoa, hold on a minute.
Exactly. This isn't just playful teasing anymore.
It feels like a threat almost.
It's like, don't talk about what you see here.
Right, like their relationship, there's another side that's not for the public.
Exactly. It's like a window into this hidden world.
Right.
The underbelly of the music industry.
And let's be honest.
Oh, I know.
The music industry doesn't exactly have the best track record when it comes to protecting young talent.
You can see that again.
And that's what I keep coming back to,
It's like, we've seen this story before.
Right. It's like young star, huge fame, surrounded by these industry power players.
Mm-hmm.
And then years later.
The accusations start coming out.
Exactly. The exploitation, the abuse.
It's a tale as old as time, unfortunately.
Like a broken record. And this isn't just Diddy and Bieber.
No, this is way bigger.
This is about the whole system.
The music industry itself,
Where young talent, especially teenagers like Bieber was.
They're treated like commodities almost.
Right. Like products.
Not people who need protecting, who need guidance.
They're just trying to navigate this insane world.
With all this pressure to succeed, to look a certain way, to please everyone in power.
It's a recipe for disaster.
Especially with the power dynamics at play.
Exactly. You've got these young artists.
Many from backgrounds with zero experience with this world.
Right. And suddenly they're thrust into this life of wealth and excess.
Private jets, parties.
Surrounded by managers, producers.
Everyone wants a piece of them.
And honestly, who can blame a kid for getting caught up in all that?
Especially a teenager. It's intoxicating,
The allure of fame.
It's blinding. And even if they see the red flags, who do they tell?
They probably feel like they owe these powerful people everything.
Exactly. And that's what's so disturbing about those anonymous sources in the article.
The people close to Bieber back then.
They were worried sick.
They said he was too young, too naive for all of this.
One even said his own parents threw him to the wolves, basically.
Man, that's heavy.
It is, but it highlights how there's often no real protection.
Because at the end of the day, there's a lot of money to be made off these kids.
Sad but true, and sometimes the adults, the ones who should be looking out for them.
They're just looking out for themselves.
Exactly, and when you have that power imbalance, that pressure to stay silent.
It creates the perfect environment for exploitation.
And everyone just looks the other way,
Easier to pretend it's not happening.
Or they say, that's just how it is. That's the music industry.
But it doesn't have to be this way.
No, it shouldn't be.
We can't keep sweeping these stories under the rug.
We need change, real change.
The music industry needs a wake-up call.
Transparency, stronger rules, a culture that puts well-being first.
And it's not just on the industry to change.
You're right. It's on all of us.
What do you mean?
We need to be more critical, We can't just consume blindly.
So, think about where our entertainment comes from.
Exactly. Ask questions and support organizations fighting for artists' rights.
The ones holding abusers accountable.
Yes. Because silence only protects the abusers.
It's time to shine a light on these dark corners of the industry.
We need to demand better, for everyone's sake.
It makes you wonder what this whole thing did to Justin Bieber. I mean, he's been pretty open about his struggles with fame, with mental health.
You don't go through something like that, especially at that age,
Right.
and come out unscathed.
Especially so young.
It makes you think, how many other young stars
Yeah.
have stories like this we don't even know about?
That's the thing, right? We're only seeing the tip of the iceberg.
Exactly.
But, I mean, at least the article said Bieber's doing better now. Seems like family, faith, all that.
That's great to hear.
Distancing himself from Diddy.
Good for him, you know? Everyone needs to find their own path.
Absolutely. But this whole thing, it really makes you think about celebrity culture in a different way, you know?
How so?
It's like we put these stars on pedestals. We buy into the image, the persona.
Totally.
But we forget there's a real person behind all that.
A human being.
Someone who can get hurt, taken advantage of.
Especially in that world.
Exactly. It's a cautionary tale for sure.
It is. And it just shows how much more aware we all need to be.
Right.
About what goes on behind the scenes, the power dynamics, the pressure.
Instead of just looking the other way.
Exactly. We can't stay silent about this stuff anymore.
So, I mean, where do we go from here? What can we actually do?
Well, for starters, we got to talk about it. Raise awareness, you know.
Get the word out.
About the exploitation, the abuse, the way the industry works.
Knowledge is power, right?
Exactly. And once people know, they can start demanding better.
Okay, so what can we do specifically?
Support organizations that are fighting for artists. You know, the ones pushing for stronger regulations, holding these abusers accountable.
Makes sense.
And we need to be smarter about the entertainment we support.
Okay, so be conscious consumers.
Yes. Think before you click, you know. Support artists who are upfront about their values.
The ones speaking out, using their platform for good.
Exactly. And if you see something messed up, say something.
Don't just let it slide.
Call it out, whether it's a sexist comment, a power trip, whatever.
We all have a part to play.
We do, because change only happens when enough people demand it.
When we refuse to be part of the problem.
Exactly.
So, to everyone listening, next time you're jamming out to your favorite song, take a minute, think about the people behind it, you know.
The artists?
Were they treated fairly?
Are they safe?
Are they okay? Because a hit song shouldn't cost someone their well-being. And on that note, that's it for our deep dive this week.